Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ryan Nelson, and today on Rooster AM, we have a very special guest. She got to entertain me this weekend, and it was great entertainment. Brooklyn Phillips as Kitty. I'm going to read to you a review. Brooklyn Phillips as Kitty, an unexpected scene stealer in the best way possible. With razor sharp comedic instincts, she turned every moment, even those spent in the background, into a showcase of character and charm. If there were a Best Supporting Actress award for Enid Theatre, she would win without a question. Her energy was electric, and she made even the smallest beats utterly captivating. Kitty is funny on paper, but Brooklyn made her unforgettable. A great man wrote that review. um, so let's start with the basics. Who's Brooklyn Phillips when she's not on stage?
I'm just a girl. I go to Oklahoma State University. I'm getting uh, my BFA in acting. Emphasis on musical theater. I enjoy more on cam stuff versus on theater. Um, I don't know. I'm in a sorority. I have sisters. I have a bunch of family. My family's huge. I love kids. I love animals. I'm just a normal person who enjoys being on stage and performing, putting smiles on people's faces. So that's kind of who I am. I like to bring out the best in people, and I think with laughter, that's the best kind of medicine. So that's kind of who I am.
Matt, this I look at like the Gaslight Theatre and the programs they put together and the stuff that they do in the summer times for the children.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if this is part of the answer,
Okay.
but here's my question: how did you first fall in love with musical theater?
Okay. So, drama camp, actually.
That's what I heard. I was like, that's
Yes.
what. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So my grandma Sally, my Mimi, she when I was like 4 or 5, she decided that it would be a great idea to have some sort of outlet for kids in Enid to go and be on stage and work on their speaking abilities and how to hold a conversation with people and just being able to just be able to to public speak. Does that make sense? Yeah, public speak. And I mean it really does help a lot. I We did the Jungle Book, that was our very first show. I was in the very first drama camp. And ever since then I've fallen in love with it. And thanks to her, I've, continued this journey. I've continued this process. It's what I want to do for the rest of my life, kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I fell in love with it because of drama camp. And as crazy as that is to say it, because now I'm, in charge of it with Angela Gallagher. We're in charge of it together. And it's crazy how the tables have turned. And now I get to kind of lead these kids into their theater love, I guess you could say.
That's so cool. Do you remember that first performance?
I do. Unfortunately,
Were
I
you a tree or what?
close. I was monkey number 2. Okay. Um, and I remember the audition process. I was at a dentist appointment, and so I came back and I saw the cast list whenever I came back, and I was mad because why would I be monkey number 2? Why would the 5-year-old little girl who doesn't know how to read not be the lead of the show? I was, 5 and I was upset, but yeah, that's okay. I started to learn how to enjoy my character versus be bitter about others. That's a great thing about drama camp. You learn those theater what's the word? Like the a way to
Etiquette?
yes, theater etiquette and how to be happy for those around you rather than sad for yourself. And I remember my first line. I stood on stage and I went, I stuck my tongue out. And it got all the laughs in the theater, and that's when I was like, "Yep, this is what I want to do. I can make them laugh."
You can feel. You could feel it.
Yeah, I remembered it. Yeah.
Is there somebody that inspired you growing up, like an actor or a character or a family member? Are there any singers that you look up to?
Yeah, absolutely. Because of my Mimi, she introduced me to Broadway, and so our favorite show was The Sound of Music. Um, so Julie Andrews, she's my favorite. I aspire to be like her. She's wonderful. Mary Poppins was a big part of my life. The Sound of Music. I've got to play Maria before. She's my favorite ever. So that was amazing.
What you played in Sound of Music?
The Maria von Trapp. So it was a Gaslight community theater.
Right. When was that?
That was 1 year ago, 2 years ago, last summer-ish.
I'm gonna be real.
Mhm.
Was Aaliyah Hopper in it?
No.
Like, was she like one of the background actors or something? I can't
I
remember.
don't think so. This was at like a camp in Guyman.
Oh, okay.
So,
Never
yeah,
mind.
yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind. Never mind. Because I was like, man, if that was the same show, you've impressed me twice, and I didn't know it.
Imagine. No,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that was not me, but I did get to play her before, so her for sure. And then Selena Gomez on Disney Channel. Disney Channel is what made me want to do theater and TV. So Selena Gomez on Wizards of Waverly Place really piqued my interest. So.
What about the Drowsy Chaperone? What made you say, I'm going to go do this? Was it just like a show and you were like, I got the time? Or were you like, kind of?
Yeah.
What drew you to it? Anything?
I've always loved doing musicals at Gaslight and shows at Gaslight, and I'm here for the summer. So I was like, I can't, I'm not the type of person to just be able to just sit at home and do nothing all summer. I wish I could, but for some reason I like to throw myself into a billion things. But I heard great things about Renee, our director. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. So I couldn't make it to actual auditions because OSU was also holding their auditions for this fall semester.
What's the show?
They're doing Midsummer Night's Dream, which I'm in, and then they're also doing Urinetown, which is a musical. So, Midsummer Night's Dream, I'm playing Helena, and she's once again a comedic role. So, I mean, I found my little niche, but so I was doing that, and so I sent her a video audition, and she was like, "Okay, awesome. Would you mind reading these sides, but with this really weird, high pitched New York accent?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And I think I'm guessing that's what got me the part because I feel like I sang my song, did my monologue, and I was like, all right, well,
Is it
might as well.
Midsummer Night's Dream?
Mhm.
Is that the I do love nothing as well as you. I do love nothing in the world as well as you. Is that?
I couldn't tell you honestly. I'm not much of a Shakespeare person, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna just man.
I know. Listen, I have my own opinions about Shakespeare, and I'm not going to say much because I did get casted in a Shakespeare show, so I love Shakespeare, yay! But no, I'm not the biggest fan, honestly. I mean, I know to be.
Oh, it was Much Ado About Nothing.
Yes. Oh, okay. Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah,
I did a monologue from that once.
Yeah. I do love nothing in the world as well as you. Is not that strange? That's pretty good. Such a good. All right, never mind. Got a little off track there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really cool that you're going to be doing that at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I love Oklahoma State. It's where I went to school as well. I enjoyed it very much. Very good. There's a lot of Oklahoma State people in Enid.
There is. Yeah.
And a lot of theater Oklahoma State people. It's wild how I'll just be walking the street and they're like, Ryan. And I'm like, hey, yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah.
So Kitty, I'm going to be real. I went and watched the show. I have no idea who Brooklyn Phillips is. Zero knowledge of you at all. Sat down, was sitting there with my wife and my son. And I thought right off the bat, I was like, man, knowing the show, like I've read it before.
Okay.
And so I kind of knew it. Keegan nails it. He just nails it.
Yeah,
So, and normally when you watch a show, you expect the lead roles, certainly when it comes to, and I'm not dogging on it, but certainly when it comes to community theater, you see the lead roles and you think, okay, they're going to be the good players.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone else around them is going to be an okay player. This was not that case. Everyone here was really, really solid throughout the whole thing. You stuck out to me as what I would call like a B character.
Okay.
Like you're probably more of a B character in the show, but when I left, I felt like you were the A character. Just by watching you the whole time. So my wife did too. It was it was because you were in the moment the whole time, and here's a little tip to actors that play the third tree in the back. You play the third tree in the back, and what happens is you start to notice this in shows. They start watching the show and not being in the show. You were in the show. Like your faces, the things that you did, the reactions you were making were so big And when I say, I'm not saying big in like overdoing it. Like you weren't like trying to steal or chew a scene.
Right. Yeah.
It was like in a good way. But was uh, I believed you.
Oh.
I believed you. I was like, that girl, I believe. The two people around her, but I believe her. Everything you did, every action, every movement, and it was funny. You did a lot of funny stuff. And Kitty is such a fun character.
Yeah.
She's over the top. So that's kind of a good thing as an actor. It's like, I can go big and not matter.
Oh, true.
And but you did it well.
Thank you.
How would you describe Kitty in your own words?
Diva. She wants the show all for herself. She's the kid in high school who would always be like, I'm gonna have the lead role, even though I'm not talented. She's like Rachel Berry without the talent, if you know Glee. But she's dumb. She's dumber than a rock. She's like Karen Smith from Mean Girls. That's where I pulled a lot of my like spacing out faces, and like what I was thinking in my brain is just very like, oh yay, I'm here, and I'm just happy to be here. She's But she's also a little vicious. Okay.
And
she's
jealous.
You know,
you could see
yes.
I could see the jealousy in
Mhm.
your eyes.
This kitty got claws. That's kind of my motto for this show. Originally, she's not written in as being this jealous and selfish person who wants the stage all for herself. Yes, she's annoying and she's like, put me in, I'm great too. But somehow throughout the process, I have this really bad habit. I wouldn't say bad habit, but I tend to turn dumb characters into mean characters, kind of. I give them a sense of attitude so that they can have a little bit more of a grounding center to them rather than them just being this airhead that people forget about. I did the same thing in Rumors at OSU. I was playing Claire Gans, and she's typically known to be a little spacey. She's very like, oh well, I'm just happy to be here, and I hope we don't get caught for this murder or whatever the show's about. And yeah, that's kind of what I did with Kitty. I made her really jealous.
You added a layer.
I did. I tried my best, and
it came across.
Thank you.
It came across really well, because if you would have played her just stupid and like, okay, say the line stupid and dumb and walk away, I wouldn't have walked out going, Brooke's awesome. But you did something. And when I was watching, I felt the whole time, I saw the jealousy, but I also saw that you weren't the brightest. Like, not really what I would say stupid, just poor decisions.
Yeah, I agree.
And not understanding how to handle a situation.
Oh yeah.
But you played it perfect with there was 2 or 3 layers. You get angry sometimes, but then you saw the jealousy.
Yeah.
You also saw the I want the spotlight. Yeah. And that was one of my favorite. It was when you were like, okay, get out of the way.
Oh yeah, like push her.
Or when you were standing, like you would be standing. I'm so in tune to the when I look at the stage, I don't see a character, I see a picture.
Okay. Yeah.
So I see the whole stage. So a lead actor to me is not that important.
Okay.
If the players around them aren't doing what they're doing. And so it takes the whole thing. And so even the person in the back, well, when I'm watching this and you were standing there, I believe the Janet character was to your left, and maybe it was the groom, or maybe the direct producer was to the right. I can't remember, but you were standing there and they were talking. And while they were talking, I saw the conversation more in you than I heard from them.
Okay.
The way that you were you were like, yeah. And then you were listening, like, and you were doing this, and everyone else around you was watching them. Right. And I'm like, but they weren't playing to it, and you were. I could see who you were. I knew everything about Kitty without you saying a line. And that's real acting. That is where the silent actors, when you look back the black and white films, why were they so held up in esteem? Because they didn't get to speak words. They had to tell a story with their face. Yeah. And you did. You told the story. It was very good. What did you do to prepare?
For the character?
Yeah, like emotional. Like, well, you added a layer, that kind of the emotional thing. Physically, I mean, you did a lot of physical stuff up there.
A lot of physical. A lot of cartwheels and fan kicks and leaps and all the things. I'm really not that good of a dancer, if I'm being honest. That's what I lack the most. I could say I'm a triple threat, but in all reality, I'm not. I'm just like I can hold a beat and move my feet.
I can dance.
Yeah.
After you give me you choreograph it, and I do it 1,000 times.
Yeah, then I'm perfect, you know. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like my process is I've taken a bunch of acting classes. I've taken, in school we learn how to build a character and Uta Hagen's, 6 reasons and all these things that you have to write out and figure out. I don't do that. I don't care. Like, honestly, the way I think of it is I put myself in this character's shoes. I say, okay, this is my character. How would Brooke react? Because for me, I think I'd rather have an authentic reaction because I'm an everyday person. We started off just saying I'm just a girl who lives in Enid, Oklahoma, who does theater. Okay. How would this person just be in someone else's shoes in their situation and then just change a little bit about myself and then bang, I'm there. And so I don't really like to deep dive. I think if you deep dive too much into a character, you'll get kind of lost in them rather than be able to perform them as well as you can, if that makes any sense.
Well, if you have a good writer, you don't have to dig deep.
Very true.
And that's the thing with the that's why this show is good. Like, the show is written in a way that you know the characters by their lines.
Yeah.
And a good writer does that.
Yeah.
It's almost like I said with the man in the chair.
Yeah.
Well written. All it is timing.
Oh yeah, and Keegan's timing is perfect, always.
The comedic timing is there. The reactions there. So, but he didn't have to do anything extra. It's so well written, and that's true. I think some people they do. If you tinker too much, it comes off inauthentic. It does not come off real.
Right.
And that's why I think it's so hard for people to do Shakespeare.
I can see that 100%.
Because they try to look deeper in between what it's really saying, and it's really just Shakespeare's so simple. It's written
it is.
So well.
It is.
You don't need to dig deep. You don't have to overdo it. Like, to be or not to be. No, it's just to be or not to be. That's the question.
Exactly. They're just people. Yeah. They're people who are just living an odd circumstance of life right now, and you have to think about how would I do it. I leave my character at the theater. I don't take Kitty home with me. I don't even like to think about the show whenever I'm not at the theater or on stage. You'll see I go from Brooke. We enter in through Fridge on stage, which is so interesting and so funny. Whoever built it, our builders are fabulous. Anyways, we enter on through the Fridge, and I will be Brooke right before I go on stage. I'm Brooke. I'm fixing my dress. It's hot backstage. I'm trying to fix whatever's around me. And then the door opens, and all of a sudden I'm Kitty. I'm in this weird world, and here I am. That's kind of how I think of it. So I don't get bored of the character either, because I'd much rather just experience them and live through them on stage than take them with me. I don't like to think about it. That's just kind of how I am.
That is so good. Was there a moment when it clicked? Like when you were just like during a rehearsal where you were like, okay, I've got this.
Low-key? Yeah. I'd say what was it? There was a point where we were rehearsing Show Off. And it was, I don't know what was happening, but like we rehearsed Show Off for the first bit of rehearsal, and then we ran the show the rest of the rehearsal. And I did something really funny in Show Off. I don't know. I think that's whenever I started doing my kick line thing where I pretended to be in the kick line, whatever it might have been. And I heard just like a large roar of laughter from Renee in the back row. And I was like, I love it. I love it when she laughs. I seek that validation from her. And then the rest of the show, it was like, oh my gosh, I've got this character down. I don't have to worry about anything. Like, if Renee thinks I'm funny, the audience will think I'm funny because Renee knows the show. Right. Like, she's done her research, she's done that. So I think it was just one rehearsal where I was like, yeah, I got it. And then when we added Jacob plays Robert, our bridegroom. And I got that red wig on, and it's right during the nightmare sequence, and I skate across stage for 2 seconds, and they were like, oh, pretend like you're doing this, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna do something different. So I start, combing my hair and finger guns to the audience, and they were like, oh, that's so funny. I was like, yes, good. And then it just kind of clicked and it stuck. So
I will say the roller skates made me nervous.
me too.
Me too. Like when he did his little accident waiting to happen thing, the whole time I was like, I kind of was not paying attention. I was like, is he gonna fall off the stage?
Yep.
That's and I did the same thing when I was in. You have to like kind of tone it back because we did some sword fighting, and it was so fast, so quick. We were doing flips on the stage, like fighting each other. I mean, it was bad, breaking fingers, cutting each other up. To where it looked so dangerous that people were uncomfortable. So we like had to back it up. We don't want them to be like, oh my gosh, he's gonna cut his hand off.
Right.
But yeah, it was the skating. I was sitting there going, now I know what they meant by that.
Yeah.
Because when he got close to the front of the stage, I was like, if he slips, this could be dangerous.
Oh yeah. We are risking our lives for this show, I might say. So.
Is there a line that you love of her, like a favorite line?
I have a lot of favorite lines. My top 3. There's in Bride's Lament, it's not my line. It's Janet and Man and Cher. And it's like, do I need to be so gloomy? No, no, no. And the no, 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 I don't know why, but it hits a little part of my brain and I love it. A line that everyone loves in the show is flip the flan. It's in my song in Toledo Surprise and I sing it. And I guess they were talking about it downstairs one day, and I was like, guys, what's going on? They're like, oh, you're on stage while this is happening, but we're all backstage being like, flip the flan, and I was like, oh wow, lovely. Definitely no, no, no. Or I also love Robert's yes, but the tune is so infectious. I don't know, it just makes me laugh. So those are some of my favorites for sure.
The Toledo Surprise, very good song. It went very well.
Yeah.
And we won't want to spoil everything.
Right.
Because if you haven't went, you should definitely go. It's this weekend. And if you're watching this, you're probably watching this on a Tuesday. So go get your tickets before they're gone, because it was worth the admission. So how's playing Kitty think helped shape anything in the future? Did you learn anything from this show that you're like, I'm going to take with me to the next show?
Yeah, I would say, let me think for a second. Honestly, I think it's less of playing Kitty herself and more of being with people I don't know, if that makes sense. There's a lot of new faces, new people in this show. And so the beginning for me, because Gaslight, it's a community theater. Everyone who does it is from Enid. So I know everyone who's in a show at Gaslight. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I don't know who they are. Like, I don't know. I've never spoken to them, but I know who they are. That's a Gaslight patron. But these people are new. They're all from Stillwater or Bethany or random places all over Oklahoma, and we're all performing one show together. And so I'm thinking, at the beginning, I was like, I don't really know how to speak to these people. I don't know what they're like. I don't know if they'll like me, and that insecurity and anxiety and fear kind of was like, oh no, what if I have an awful experience if they don't like me?
I sure hope I don't suck today.
No, like really, I was like, well, I got to be good so that they think I'm good, And then once the process started going and we started getting to know each other better, I was like, they're just people. They're just actors who are on stage. They all have feelings too. And there were our chaperone. I was talking to her last night, actually, at the show. She was like, really? I thought you hated us. I thought you hated me and Keegan. I was like, absolutely not. I'm wowed by you two. I think you guys are so talented and so funny. I wanted to be your friend. And they were like, well, we wanted to be yours. So, just kind of learning that, hey, give them some grace, go have a conversation with them, talk to them. And I feel like that will make the process go smoother. And just playing Kitty in general, I think just if I ever end up playing a really dumb character again, to find a different layer. Maybe it doesn't have to be a jealousy thing, but find a different layer. Maybe they're really sad on the inside, or maybe they have a really big ego, or something that gives them a little extra oomph. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So.
their motivation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you got to find the motivation behind it.
Exactly.
Certainly, they hand you when you're handed characters that are like stupid, they're hard. Like when they're like one track mind. It's like, oh man, like there's not a lot to do with this. How can I make it not lame? Right. And that's where you got to find the motivation behind it. And well, he's got a big ego, or he's fearful. You just add it too. That's called smart acting. And that's kind of what I was talking about when I wrote it in. Like you can read Kitty on paper, and you're like, she's funny, but you did something. You brought Kitty alive. Like it was like and then there's Brooke with Kitty, and that was fun. That was a fun experience. We walked out. I was getting in the car. I looked at my wife and I said, "What was your favorite?" She said, "I really liked the man on the chair." I said, "Yeah, he was very good. He did good as the lead." I said, "Was there anybody else?" She goes, "The girl in the green." I couldn't stop watching her. And I was like, "That's Kitty." She was like, "She was so funny." And I was like, "Yeah, she was. She was extremely funny."
Thank you.
What is your dream role?
Oh, I hate saying this because I've already got to play her, which is Maria in The Sound of Music. She's my dream role. She's though she is the one role I've deemed this true. She's the one role in musicals that I could play for years and years and years and never get tired of. I could do a show every single night playing her, and I would never ever want to be like, I need a break. It's so freeing just living through her shoes.
It's a long show.
Oh, it's like 3 hours long, but I don't mind. It's fun for me. But Liesel, I'd love to play Liesel someday. But I guess newer age dream role, I love Ride the Cyclone. If you've ever heard of that, it's about like a roller coaster crash, and there's like five or six high schoolers who die on the ride, and they end up in this Karnak's dream of. It's funny. It's a funny show, but it has a deeper meaning, kind of like Drowsy Chaperone. But I'd love to play Jane Doe. She has super high operatic notes that she hits. Or Ocean. She's she thinks she's better than everyone, and she's very like, everything's my way and I'm right. And there's Constance, I believe is her name, and she's kind of like the funny friend who's just like, I'm here too, hey. So really any role in that show I'd love to play too. But yeah,
that's interesting. I'll have to look that one up. I've not seen that.
Oh gosh, you need to. The music's wonderful. The story's wonderful.
I'm gonna like if I was to have to. There's a couple in my life that would, if they came up, would make me leave the bedroom.
Oh, absolutely.
Like there's one, like a couple, maybe it was a year or two ago, they were doing Rent.
No.
And I almost went an audition. The only reason I did not was because I'm also a pastor.
Oh.
And I was like, that show would people don't understand the show. They would say, "Oh my gosh, that's just some left-wing liberal, blah blah blah." And I'm like, that's not really what it is. It's actually about the impact of what a disease had on a world.
Exactly.
And that's what it was. And that they are still people. It's not a pro or con anything. It's a really good show. But no one would have understood that, so I didn't.
Yeah.
But when I heard Sweeney Todd's coming, I was like, I may wake up and go out for that.
You have to.
I'm not saying I would get it. Like, I'm not that arrogant to be like, I'm going to go down there and be Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. But you have to go audition.
It would be worth me getting up and going. Because if I'm going to do something, I want to put my whole self into it, not partial. So it better be good if I'm going to go put my whole self into it.
Absolutely.
And that would be a fun one. Is there anything coming up that you see that you're like, man, I'm gonna?
So obviously we have Midsummer Night's Dream, which I will be in at Oklahoma State. So, if you want, go get your tickets. However, there's next semester we're doing Cinderella, and I really want to be in it so bad. I don't care who I am. I just want to be in a musical at OSU. Obviously, I'd love to be Cinderella. I've never got to play like the pretty princess. I've always played the villain. Yikes. And then
You know, that's what I get too. It sucks.
it sucks.
It's like Romeo and Juliet. Can I be Romeo? No, you're Tybalt.
No, exactly.
Wow, what?
Always.
Yeah.
I'm always like, "Ugh, gosh, I
That's
know.
why
but-
Sweeney Todd's right down my alley.
Yeah, you have to go for it. You have to try out. You have to audition.
I just got the
Oh, yeah.
mean look. I don't know.
Exactly. No, I get it. But
Mhm.
I'd love to play a pretty princess. But if I'm a stepsister, I'm an evil, funny, stepsister or stepmother, sure, sign me right up. But that's coming up. And then, a little auditions for projects here and there. And hopefully next year, I do plan to come back for Sweeney Todd if I don't end up booking like a summer stock show that's out of town kind of thing. But yeah.
That'll be fun. When is that going to be next? Is it
Next summer? Yep.
Yeah.
By Gaslight.
Yeah, man, that would be a fun one. Is there a favorite prop or that you're using in the show?
Absolutely, there is.
Which one is it?
We have. I use lots of props in this show.
That's why I asked the question. It's like
insane. My my favorite props have to be the snake basket that we use. That's hilarious. And then, or B, we have a little Ken doll. And there's a moment in the show where I didn't really understand it at first because I've never seen it, but I guess it makes sense now that I think about it. I'm being Godzilla kind of thing, like King Kong, not Godzilla, King Kong, where I'm on the Empire State Building holding the little
jam.
Yeah, I have the little Robert doll in my hands. And the reason why he's so funny is because at first, he didn't have any clothes. And so he was just a little naked Barbie doll that we had to use on stage. And he had like Sharpie and marker all over him. He was one of our, I think our choreographer's daughter or son's
Ken doll.
Yeah, Ken doll. And she was like, well, here you go. But now he looks good. That's probably my favorite prop. It's Ken. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you could pick any co-star, any person that you could be next to, guy, girl, whatever, who would that be?
That is the hardest question.
And they can't be dead, because I know what you would say.
Can't
You would be a Julianne.
Is she dead?
Is she?
I don't think she's dead.
Sorry.
Don't wish death upon my girl, okay?
Really?
Is she dead?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to check up on that, because if she is, I'm gonna be really sad because I thought she was still alive. I swear she's still doing a movie or something.
I mean, she might be. God, she was born in 1935.
Yeah, she's old.
She's still kicking it. She's 89 years old.
I knew it. See, I told you.
Still kicking it. So I am so sorry.
Well,
Oh
obviously
my
her.
goodness, Miss
but-
Andrews. I'm sorry.
Julie Andrews. She's my number one. However, if I'll do something a little more modern, I guess you could say. Guy wise, I'd love to do a musical movie with Milo Manheim. He's beautiful, and
Because he's beautiful.
he is beautiful, but he's so extremely talented, and I'd love to be able to work with him. Or I'd also really love to work with any horror actor, like Jenna Ortega would be a great one. Someone who is experienced in horror movies. That's a big thing that I want to try to get into, horror. So
I'm gonna have a guest on. Her name is Leah Philpott. I don't know if you know who she is. She did Hell Hath No Fury.
Oh.
She does a lot of movies that are scary.
Yeah.
If you want to watch one, it's a dark comedy.
Okay.
So you know that going in. Okay,
Okay.
this is a dark comedy, but it's very creepy
Mm-hmm.
because it's basically about a husband and a wife.
Mhm.
They're just done. Like their marriage is done, and they don't know how to get out of it. So they both hire someone to kill each other,
Okay.
and they happen to hire them to kill them on the same night,
Gotcha.
and it
Oh.
goes down in the house, and it's out of control. You know.
I see. Okay. Okay.
She plays-
I'd like to watch
she
that.
plays a really. You know what we're talking about? What I'll do is in this video, I'll try to cut and put a trailer in so people can see
Do
what we're
it.
talking about.
Do it. Absolutely.
And it's a really it is really fun. It's a fun one. So when she's in town, if you're in town, I
Yeah.
can introduce you to her because she's already doing movies.
Please do. I'd love to.
She'd probably love to hang out with the young actress.
Please do. I would love that. Any connection is a good connection.
Yeah, and she's she's like the one, because I've seen most of her movies.
Mhm.
She's the one that I would say is not had the best luck,
Okay. Yeah.
but she's done very well in
Mhm.
everything she's done.
Yeah.
Like, because there is a luck factor when it comes to entertainment.
Big.
You know,
Big
it's,
luck
and I will
factor.
say there's some of the best actresses I've ever met in my life
Mhm.
that have never hardly done anything. And I think so much of that is because there are two things that people miss when it comes to entertainment. You can be the best singer, dancer in the world and best actor in the world, but if you do not know how to network, you're not going to get anywhere.
Mhm.
Like, you have to
Absolutely.
learn to network.
Mhm.
And the other thing is to not burn bridges. Now, when you're a megastar, that's when they start to burn bridges,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That when you're but when you're trying to get to megastar, you don't burn a bridge. But you don't compromise your morals, but you don't burn bridges, and that's what a lot of people do. But there are so many out there. They're so brilliant, but they're just shy, or they're very they can't network well, or they don't know how to put themselves out there.
It's all about marketing yourself.
Yeah, and being bold. I mean, really, people are always asking, like, how in the world are you and Martin Sheen friends? Like, the way it is. To be real, it was because I was bold. I didn't care. Like, you almost have to have an I don't care attitude, but not a I don't care about you or what you're doing. Just I don't care about how you perceive me.
Right.
And that makes a difference. I mean, even as a pastor, I think sometimes that's what made me successful in that, was that I didn't care how people viewed me.
Yeah.
I would stand up there and say, I'm just as bad as everyone in the room.
Right. Yeah. You're just another
I'm
person.
A sinner too. I'm not better than any of you. And people would be like, dang, the pastor is saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guess what? I can prove it to you.
Right.
Exactly. And so, but with Martin Sheen, it was everybody was like, "Don't talk to him. He's the legend. He's the legendary.
Yeah.
Don't talk to him. Stay away." And I just walked up to him
and said,
"Hey, what's up?" And he was like, "Hey," and then we talked.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
You know, you got to be able to do that. And I'll introduce you to a couple people
please,
whenever they come in.
Feel free.
I thought about going over to OSU and seeing if they wanted to sponsor the podcast, and then I could bring some over to the theater department.
Oh, you 100% should.
And they would probably enjoy that. So if you had a spin-off musical, what would it be called? If Kitty had one, if you were thinking about, let's do a spin-off for the Drowsy Chaperone, what would it be? I have an idea for Kitty, but what would you say?
Gosh, oh no, I did not think. Okay, there's a line in the show where she's like, Kitty the incomprehensible, but I think it just have to be like, do you know the High School Musical? Sharpay. Yeah. Okay, Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure, right? I would make it somewhat like Kitty's Fabulous Adventure, along the lines, and it'd follow Kitty as the star of the show.
That's what I was thinking. That would be a great sequel.
But it's hilarious. It hilariously goes wrong. Everything goes wrong, and then in the end, you know, she gets her big moment. But that's kind of what I would do.
Yeah, like. The Kitty does everything wrong, but somehow it turns out right. It
turns out right. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And there are those people in life, you know, where you're like, they do it. It's like they could screw up everything. Exactly. Yet at the end of the day, they're still looked at like gold.
Exactly.
Like, how is this happening?
I know. Yeah. Or like the people who like don't do anything, they never study, they just hang out with whatever, and they just go out, and then all of a sudden they get 100% on their, you know, exam, and you're like, I studied for hours in the library and I got a 50 kind of thing.
Or you got the whole like my son, for instance.
Yeah.
People work their whole life to get in the movie. Work their whole life. He's just hanging out at the house one day. Producer's looking for a home. Here's his story and says, we want him in the movie. And boom, he's in it.
And you're like, what?
Dude, everything
Yes.
you do turns to gold, little kid.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's like my
yeah.
grandpa. He's been in movies. He got a movie offer here, just because he has a nice voice, just because he has a rodeo announcer voice. And I'm like, well, how is it so easy for you when I'm here trying and I'm trying to do everything I can? And he's just like, yeah, they hit me up.
Well, here's what: don't be a try hard.
True. I guess not. I'm just gonna
just have fun.
relax and just
Like once you have fun, get to know people, have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun in between the shows,
Mhm.
like with people.
Absolutely.
That's the way to do it.
Mhm.
Like the try hard. Like don't try
Yeah.
so hard because you want something so bad.
Mhm.
You have no idea how many times I've seen like the Passion plays, right?
Mhm.
Like the Passion of Christ plays that they put on like at churches and stuff.
Mhm.
I could go audition 1,000 times. I know every word Jesus ever said.
Yeah.
Right. I know I could play Jesus.
Mhm.
But I will get cast as Judas.
Right?
You know,
Yeah,
it's
no,
like-
I know
it's
exactly
like-
what you were about to
it's
say.
like-
Yeah.
It just never works out the way you want it.
Exactly. No, I
You
get
know,
it.
but you just got to roll with what you get.
Yeah.
What life gives you. I'm going to give you a couple rapid fire questions for fun.
Okay.
The first one I already know, so how about we skip that?
Okay.
Not the favorite musical. What is your favorite comedy of all time?
Oh gosh. Like straight play or
Doesn't
musical
matter.
or TV movie.
TV, movie, doesn't matter.
Favorite comedy of all time.
Because that's kind of your wheelhouse
It
right
is
now.
my wheelhouse right now. Oh gosh. Favorite comedy. I don't like this question. There's so many good ones out there. I don't know what to say. Okay, favorite comedy. Anything, any movie starring Kevin Hart and Dwayne the Rock Johnson together. That's my favorite type of comedy. Those two together make me laugh. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
Wow,
Yeah.
you are so young.
I know.
You're so
I
young.
know.
Like,
It's
all
bad.
What about if you go to a bar? Well, I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
I'm 20. So
All
no
right.
bars.
No bar. If you went to a coffee house
Okay.
and they were having karaoke, what is your go-to song?
It depends on the vibe because if it's gonna be just like I've done some gigs and stuff like that, so and I've done karaoke nights at places like that, and so I'd say Zombie by the Cranberries, What's Up by Four Non Blondes, I believe that's what it is, and then or if it's like musical theater, it's got to be like something really fun and popular from Wicked or
Grease.
Grease is always a good one. I never have an issue with that. Something from Hamilton, maybe, just playing around. But yeah, I never take karaoke too seriously just because, why?
Do you have a secret snack that people don't know about that you have like during the show? Like you know how they're and you're not quite there. You will one day be there where they're like, you don't want to eat all these things. You want to do, but you have your little cheat snack.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I don't really have a cheat snack. However, I do have something that I think is a little what's the word? It's like magic. It's like a little my special secret little whatever. Basically, what you do is you get the greasiest, most unhealthy fries or potato chips or something of that sort, and you eat those before you go on stage, or something sour. And like a warhead is really good, and it opens your throat and it makes it perfect. Like you can sing so well. So the things that are so bad for you really do help you out on those occasions. So
For you, because it does the opposite to me.
For me.
I have to have when I sing herbal tea.
Oh, I love some throat coat. Yeah.
Like a throat coat, that really helps me. But like something sour, ooh.
Oh no.
Spicy though would probably help me.
Ooh, spicy would hurt me. I'd be like, get all allergies.
I get all that out.
Yeah.
And then,
okay.
and then go.
perform.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Do it like an hour before the show.
Smart.
Swallow some jalapenos. Boom, clears your nasal path.
Woo, you're brave. You are brave. Yeah.
What is the most embarrassing moment you've ever had on stage?
Oh my. So I've had two. One was in The Sound of Music. Sorry, I love this show, but everything went wrong. There was one point where there was the kissing scene between Maria and Von Trapp, and I personally, for me, kissing on stage, I'm like, whatever. It's we're acting. There's nothing about this, that it has to be any kind of romantic, whatever. Um, and so me and the guy, we kiss, and like you could hear a pin drop in the audience. It was so quiet, so tense, and just so vulnerable. And as we're kissing, we hear a little boy in the audience very loudly say, "What the hell?" Like so loud. And it was his little brother. And his little brother, because I think he had a girlfriend at that point. Yeah. And he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah. And the whole audience erupts, and we have to be stuck in this kiss as we're like laughing through it for the whole time that they're laughing. It was awful. And then later in that show, something went wrong with my quick change, and something wasn't where it needed to be. And so I was still getting dressed, walking down the stairs on stage, fall off the stairs. It was awful. Whatever. My biggest, most embarrassing moment on stage to this day, I was playing Ursula in The Little Mermaid at the high school. Oh, so bad. I had a skirt on. It was huge. It was so heavy. I had a skirt on, and the feet hole was about this big. Like my ankles were like, scooching along. Like I couldn't walk. I had to go upstairs for some reason, and so I'm going up the stairs. I trip. I fall. My big foam wig starts to fall off. I stand up. I'm like, okay, we're okay. Then I have to sing Poor Unfortunate Souls, a song that I have, sang a billion times. I know it word for word. For some reason, I start messing up the words, and I keep repeating, and I was like, well, this is great. And so I look at our music director, who was our choir teacher at the time, and I was like, BJ, could you stay on tempo? I'm like making fun of him so that I can, as Ursula would, I'm trying to stay in character and be like, ugh, musicians, they're the worst, something like that. So I'm really good at ad-libbing my way out of those kind of things, but I tend to find myself in those situations.
It's fun in theater because you never know.
Every show's a different show, every night.
And you just never know. Exactly. Like you never know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. You don't know when someone is going to sneeze when they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Or when one of the times was, I think it was Oklahoma State, where the phone rang, mm-hmm. and they got the cue wrong.
Okay.
And they rang the phone like an act early.
Ugh. Yikes. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. Or it wasn't like an act, but it was like mm-hmm. probably 5-10 minutes too early. They heard the word, but it was a word that's repeated.
Okay.
And,
so it's...
Yeah, and they were like, they heard it, and they told me, they were like, I kind of just zoned out for a minute, and then I heard it, and I panicked.
Yeah.
And I hit it, and then when it rang, I realized, oh my gosh, we're like 5 pages too early, and it was like...
Been there.
Yeah, it is 5 pages too early. But that was a fun little moment to try and figure out how to make that work.
Well, I have a phone story too. During Rumors, we had a phone on a telephone on a cord, right? And so it would ring, and we'd pick it up. Rumors is a comedy. It's hilarious. Everything goes wrong in the show, right. But it's not supposed to. Not everything's supposed to go wrong. Yeah. Well, the phone cord. This guy Brigham, he walks off with the phone cord, right, and it detaches from the phone completely. So it's just phone cord and then the little box thing over there. And so he's like, oh, well, and then he sets it down, and then it has to ring again, but it's broken. So as it rings again, everybody just collectively, we all, thank God, we all have that comedic instinct. We're all just like, slowly look over and like, oh, how's that happen? It was funny. And it was opening night, and our opening night audience was...
Well, Rumors is set when?
The I don't know, 80s?
Yeah.
It's big hair, crazy outfits, right. Things like that. I would
say, you could just turn and be like, something about the cell phone.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Cell phone. Went back in time and we got us a cell phone.
Yeah, exactly. You could. Yeah.
No, it's kind of funny. Well, I don't want to keep you here forever. It was so nice having you. I will say, all I want to say is congratulations. It was outstanding. I wanted to get you on the show before you got big, and I couldn't get you on the show. So
I would always come back. Don't you worry. I'd always.
It was great watching. My family enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to encourage you to go this week and go check out the Drowsy Chaperone. And when you're watching it, Kitty, this is Kitty. She wears the green outfit.
Mhm.
You won't miss her. Like you won't miss her. You did outstanding. Do you have any final words to say to the people watching?
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us yap for a while now. If you want to get some funny laughs in, if you're having a bad day, or if you're having a good day, come to Gaslight Theatre and watch our amazing production, because we've all worked really hard and we've gone through so many trials and tribulations through this show. So many things have gone wrong. So I'm just very proud of what we have so far. So please come watch. It'll be fun.
Why'd they move the date?
So, yeah.
Was that your fault?
Actually, no, it wasn't me this time. Everyone got COVID.
Oh.
Even our leads. Our lead, Janet, they were out. And I heard that everyone got COVID. So I texted our director. I'm like, hey, do I need to be ready? Because I'm their understudy. And we've never had an understudy run. We've never even, I've sang through Show Off once. And it was marking it at a rehearsal. I don't even know.
So you kind of peed yourself a little.
Oh yeah, I was terrified. It's my worst nightmare. A day before show, and we're screwed. But we moved that, and it's because everyone got COVID, so we had to add a show this next time for the matinee. But I mean, honestly, I'm glad it happened because our Friday rehearsal was rough. It was really rough. Yes, but Saturday went fabulous. So
that's wild because I was like, man, it felt to me like you guys had been nailing this for a while. But I also, that there's a lot of moving parts in the show.
Yeah.
Like a whole lot going on. And I left someone out of the review that really did a good job. I kind of felt bad. I was like, but I don't like to edit things after I post it. Was it the French character?
Oh no, the European Adolfo.
Yeah.
Bailey. She's amazing. Oh my gosh, she is amazing.
She did so good as well. And I'm sorry. Yeah.
No.
Like I was like, because I don't know why I lost that. It was on my note, but I just lost the note as I was writing the review when I posted it. And just a little social media tip: if you post something, when you go back and edit it, it drops it off of the top fold.
Oh, okay.
So you're like, I don't want to move it or one line or something. So, but no, she did great.
Yeah, her comedic timing is awesome.
Is she from Enid as well?
No, she's kind of from Stillwater. She has so many accomplishments. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but she's like a professor or something and of music, lots of voice things. She won a huge competition in Japan. There was another one in France, I think. I don't know. She won a huge singing competition. Girl can sing, okay? And she's so humble. Like, that's what I love about her. She's so kind. She's so humble. She's like, oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. She's adorable. And during our first rehearsal, our read through, she started singing through, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I've never heard that low of a range come out of a woman, honestly. Oh, yeah. And her range is crazy. I mean, she can hit high, C6s and then, super low, like almost tenor bass notes. And I'm like, gosh, I wish.
Well, she plays man.
Yeah, I know. And my grandpa didn't know for a second. He was like, that was a woman?
I knew when the dancing started. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's but it fits the European mold.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
European men kind of have that,
flair for,
but no, I'm glad we talked about her because I really felt bad because I was like, she was a standout as well.
She is. I agree.
And it's hard because I know, like when you look across the show as a whole, you see all of the players in the background and they're all doing great. Like, and there's not like these people weren't doing great. They were really doing a good job. It's just there were people who like just kind of took it one step farther, and like I really enjoyed the banter between the gangster bakers.
Oh yeah, they're hilarious. We have a great cast. I mean, they're all so talented.
The producer character played well. Yeah, they all played well. I think that from a person sitting out, there were a couple moments where I couldn't understand.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
and that's
I can
where
see
it
that.
made it where I was like, oh man, I just don't know. They're going too quickly, or they're
Yeah.
not articulating well enough, because you hear it on stage. And this is something I learned over years and years of doing it,
Mhm.
was what you hear on stage is not what they hear.
Yeah. No,
And so,
exactly.
and so you have to keep that in mind when you're up there. But overall, I would not say there was one person where I was like, they were all really good.
Oh, they're all
And
fabulous.
it was very much, even the non-speaking roles.
Mhm.
They
Our
were,
ensemble was
yeah, they were
fabulous.
doing a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
all across the board was really good. And I said this, and I really meant it. If you could have the thousands of dollars to build the set you want, which you guys don't have, I mean, you just don't have that kind of capability. If you had the set, I would not have thought this was a community theater show. I would have thought this could have been like an off Chicago, off Broadway type show. That's the talent level that you guys brought in. And it was very, very well done. Your director did an amazing job. She, everything moves pretty seamlessly. I did, and again, this is from a theater eye. Most people wouldn't have ever noticed it. You know, like I saw there was a couple transitions where I was like, yeah, they probably could have done better. But I think it was more,
budget. I mean,
yeah,
really,
budget thing.
you have our 4 or 5 crew members backstage, running everything, and that's the beauty of community theater.
Yeah, well, everything went well from the beginning. So that what I'm saying is, I'm not criticizing to say anything was bad. I'm basically saying, when you go to a community theater show, there are things that you expect not to have, and you guys had them.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Yeah,
you
thank you.
had them, and you had so many. It was hard to say which one really. So I just had to say, okay, who made me laugh, and who does my eye drawn to?
Right.
And it was you and Keegan, and that's where it was. And I know that's probably going to drive you. Like I'll tell you what, the girl who played Janet's super talented.
They're amazing.
She's super talented. And she played it well.
Yeah.
But it's just across the board, everyone was great. So thank you for being here today.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I loved it a lot.
Well, maybe we'll do it again.
Maybe whenever I'm really, like famous and like a huge celebrity, like I'll give you a shout out and I'll come back on the podcast. Help you out a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Well, thank you so much.